Hey everyone, we're the Master Brothers, and this is the complete guide to your Tesla app.
We're going to be breaking it down into each section on the app. So the home screen, settings, media, climate, controls, charging, location tracking, and servicing.
Let's get into it. From the home screen, you'll get a snapshot of your car with its name, battery life, and a cool little 3D render that's specific to your car.
And that render will also update, so if you open the boot or the fruit or you open a door, it'll show that on the app.
If you slide that 3D render to the left, a Tesla Powerwall will show up, and then you'll get some information on it. It really just seems like Tesla's trying to sell you another product.
Below the 3D render of the car, you have 3 quick control options. So the first one, the fan icon, will just turn on the climate for you so that, say, on a really hot or cold day, your car will be heated up or cooled down to the perfect temperature.
The middle button will open the front of the fruit, which is really convenient because otherwise you would have to go inside of the car to do it. It will ask you to confirm whether you want to open it or not, and when you do, it'll appear completely open on the app, but since it's not powered, you will have to open and close it by yourself. And the final button, the lock button, will just allow you to lock and unlock your car.
And all of these quick control buttons will work if you're connected to the internet and your car has an internet connection. You can also use your phone as the key to the car so that you don't need to use this key card. To do that, just press phone key from the app, then hit start, and your app will start looking for the car. And then once it's found it, tap your key card either on the B pillar or in the center console if you're already in the car. I've found that the best way to do it is to just do this while the car is locked from outside of the car, and then when it says tap your card on the center console, I just tap it on the B pillar, and that works perfectly. When I've tried to do it inside the car, sometimes it hasn't worked and it's like thrown up so many errors, so yeah, I'd do it from outside the car. Now once you've set up your phone as the key, you then need to link your phone specifically to your profile, and the way to do that is go into the car, tap on your profile on the car so that you're in your profile, then go to controls, locks, and then tap the phone that you want to connect that profile to, and then it'll connect that phone with that profile so that when you get into the car, it'll automatically change to that profile.
The annoying thing is though, is that it is an American car, and what they didn't think about is the fact that the driver's side is on the other side in the UK.
Yeah, so what happens is, even though you've said, let's say, my profile is linked to my phone and Milan's profile is linked to his phone, if I get into the car on the driver's side, so on the right-hand side of the car, and Milan gets into the car on the left-hand side, because the American cars are driving on the left-hand side, it'll automatically revert to Milan's profile and not my profile, even though I'm driving the car. So they just haven't thought that through, that right-hand drive means that the person on the right-hand side needs to have the profile set to theirs, which is really annoying, really annoying. So it only really works if you're getting in the car on your own. And like for Milan's profile, it'll move the seat so far forward, so I'll have to like press stop manually and then actually change it to my profile. So yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah, it would have been nice if they thought that through before. With your phone set up as the key, you can just walk up to the car, open the door, and it will automatically unlock. Also, the walk-away door lock works really well, so all you have to do is get out of the car and walk away, and the car will lock. Both of these things you can't do with the physical key card. To lock and unlock the car, you just have to press the key card against the B pillar.
And just a note on security, you do have to have your phone pretty close to you for the doors to actually unlock when you're using the phone key as your key. So even if you're about 2 meters away, I think it won't even work.
Yeah,
which is nice to know for security reasons. And finally, on the home screen, all the way at the bottom, you've got a summary of your vehicle's details, so you can see its current mileage, the VIN number, and the software version.
If you scroll up, on the top left of the screen, you'll see your settings. In Inbox, you'll see account reminders and updates, as well as product updates. We haven't received any notifications yet, which is really good that we're not receiving loads, which would be really annoying.
The next option is the loot box, and this is where you can find all of your Tesla referrals, and for each referral that you get where someone uses your link and orders a car, you'll get 1,000 free supercharger miles. So if you're looking at getting a Tesla, check out the link in our description and you'll get 1,000 free supercharger miles, and so will we.
Yes, one thing to look out for though is when you get your 1,000 free supercharger miles, they only last for 6 months. Now there has been some speculation about them extending that because of COVID, but right now it is at 6 months, so be sure you use them up.
Yeah, and I think as you get more referrals, the expiration time will extend, so yeah, keep an eye out for that as well. So we've made one referral thanks to Lex Auto Lease, but for some reason the 1,000 supercharger miles aren't showing up in our account. I have emailed Tesla about this, but I haven't yet heard anything about it.
In the account menu, you can access video guides, which aren't super helpful, but they're good as a quick introduction. But at the moment, I haven't been able to access them, so they're pretty useless. You can also edit your contact information. There's also a link to a Tesla FAQ page. But we found the best FAQ page to be Tesla Motors Club. They have a lot of information, and any question we've asked, they've been really quick to respond.
In the notifications menu, you can adjust the notification settings that you'll get. So you can change the cars that you'll get notifications for, and you can change which notifications you'll actually get.
You can get notified if the car alarm goes off, which is really useful if you're in a shady area, or even if your car alarm goes off randomly, and you can just turn it off from your phone so you're not annoying other people.
You can also choose to get a charging complete notification, which can be really useful if you're at a supercharger bay, because once your charging is completed at a supercharger bay, if your car is sitting there for more than 5 minutes, you'll get charged idle fees. You can also get notified when a new software update is available, and you can get notified about what your car is doing when you're using Summon, but we don't actually have Summon because we don't have full self-driving, and for some reason it still shows up in the notification settings.
You can also enable Face ID for security, but we've enabled it and it never seems to ask for it, which is pretty odd.
Yeah, it literally doesn't do anything, so I don't know what it's used for.
Yeah.
You can also sync your calendar from your phone to your car. And so basically when you get into the car, if you've got an event coming up, you can pull up the calendar, and if the event has an address, you can just automatically navigate to that address, which is really cool, convenient feature to have.
Yeah. We've never really used it, but it's still so cool to have.
Yeah, we don't really drive for commuting or anything, obviously, because lockdown, but yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's probably why.
In the media section, you have some pretty limited controls, so you can play, pause, skip forwards or backwards in the song, or you can change the volume as well. And that might be really useful if you're sat in the back and whoever's in front isn't complying with your desire for a different song. Or if you just want to be really annoying, or just a really annoying DJ.
Yeah, you can backseat DJ.
Yeah.
It would be pretty cool if they had like the song title there. That'd be nice. And below that, on favorites, all you have is play, pause, and skip forward and backwards. And with favorites, you can only add them for radio stations, tune-in, or karaoke.
Yeah, it's a bit, the actual favorites functionality is a bit strange, and I don't think anyone truly understands it. We tried to do some Googling and reading about it, and basically what people were saying was that it's a bit of a mystery.
Yeah.
Now, for some reason, it does show Spotify here as added to favorites, but this heart is a Spotify function. It's not to do with your Tesla favorites. So it's not really a way that you can add it to favorites, and it's quite confusing. There isn't really a way to add to favorites, but you can remove these by holding down and then pressing the X to remove them from favorites. And then I think it just randomly adds them based on what you listen to. In the climate section of the app, you can see your current internal temperature of the car, and then from the bottom you can adjust the temperature that you'd like to set it to and then turn the climate on, which, like we said earlier, with the quick control button is really useful to have to get the car to your desired temperature.
You can also control all 5 of the heated seats and set them to either high, medium, low, or off. This is super useful, especially if you're in the back seats, because those heated seats get super hot. So you can just control it from your phone and then just turn off your heated seat, which is great.
Yeah, it's the only way to really control it if you're sat in the back. There's no controls from the back of the car, and it's a bit annoying to have to ask the people in the front to control it for you. Now when you turn the climate on, it will automatically turn on the front and rear defrosting and defogging. But if you think it's really cold and it needs to be put up to full blast, just press the button on the bottom right and it'll turn on that setting to high and just absolutely blast everything and melt off snow and ice.
Yeah, it's pretty good at getting rid of all the snow and ice.
Now when you also turn on climate controls, if it's cold, it'll automatically precondition the battery and you'll see a little icon show up on the top right of the screen. And that will help improve the efficiency and the performance of your battery. Because when you're in cold weather, the battery really becomes a lot less efficient, so you'll get lower range, lower performance. So definitely recommend turning on climate control before getting into the car in colder months.
If you want to learn more, click on the card up here to watch our full breakdown of Tesla's climate control.
Now there's quite a lot of things you can do from the controls section of the app. So firstly, you can vent the windows, which will basically just crack open all of the side windows a little bit. And that can be really useful, say, if it's a really hot day, or if you've got some slightly smelly takeaway. I don't know what it might be, but it might be a bit smelly.
I was thinking KFC. That's
KFC.
what came to mind.
Yeah, I guess like the grease, and then it'll just help you air out the cabin.
You can flash the lights and honk the horn, which is super useful if you're in a car park and you're having some trouble finding your car.
Now, the start button is probably one of the coolest features about the Tesla app. So let's say that your car is parked somewhere and you want to let someone drive it, but you're not anywhere near the car. The app will let you enable them to drive the car, so you can use the lock and unlock feature to let them in. But then the start button, you press that, enter your Tesla password, and then they'll have 2 minutes to get into the car and start driving it, and they won't even need the key. Now obviously, it might be a bit of a security issue, so obviously you have to be careful, but I think that's a really cool feature if, say, someone borrows the car and they have the phone key set up, but their phone key stops working for some reason and they don't have the key card. It's just a really good way, really useful way to start the car.
There's also another button to open the frunk or the fruit, and with the refresh, the frunk is a bit smaller, so we only really use it for charging cables. I don't think many groceries would fit in there, and maybe 1 or 2 backpacks would, so we don't really use it.
There's also a button for the boot, and now with the refresh, since it's a power boot, it'll completely open it, and you can also use it to completely close the boot, which is obviously nice to have.
You can activate and deactivate valet mode, which will restrict the maximum speed to 70 miles per hour and reduce acceleration to only 25%. And there's also some limited functionality with the touchscreen.
Yeah, and from the app, you can completely reset your valet mode pin. So in case you forget it, you can't adjust that from the car, but you can do it from the app.
You can enable or disable Sentry mode, which will record whenever somebody gets too close to your car.
And you can also control the maximum speed setting, so you can set that from anywhere between 50 to 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, I wonder why you'd have it set at 50.
Maybe. In case someone like Millen is driving. You can access the charging section of the app by clicking on the battery at the top of the screen, or by using the charging icon towards the bottom of the home screen. You can see your battery percentage, and you can adjust the maximum percentage you want to charge it to by adjusting the little dial that shows up on the battery itself.
Now, Tesla don't recommend you charge your battery to 100% every day, because over time that will degrade the battery, so your maximum range will decrease. So we usually like to charge it to about 85%, and we only fully charge it when we're planning on going on a long trip.
You can open and close the charge port using this button, and you'll need to use that if you're using a non-Tesla charger. When your car is plugged in, from the Tesla app, you can say start charging, which will send a request to your charger to start delivering energy. But with our Omi app, that doesn't always work because the charger itself has to be set to deliver energy. So there has to be a bit of overlap between your charger and your Tesla.
Yeah, in the end, the Omi is the decision maker, so...
Yeah, if our charger doesn't want to deliver energy, even if the Tesla asks for it, it won't do it. So we'll have to do it from the Omi app, which is fine.
Yeah, and when you're done with charging, all you need to do is unlock the charge port by pressing this button and then unplug the car.
Below that, you can see your nearby superchargers and how many ports each supercharger has available. And when you tap on one of them, it'll automatically send the navigation to your car and it'll start preconditioning the battery so that your car is ready to be supercharged.
In location, you'll be able to see where your car is, and if it's being driven, you'll be able to see how fast it's going.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you know, let's say if your partner is driving the car home, you'll know how far they are and if they're driving at a stupid speed. You can click on the car icon from the location to bring the map to where the car is, and you can click on the little circle location thing to bring it to where you are. You can also click the globe to get the satellite view or bring it back from satellite view to the road view. If you click the directions icon on the bottom right of the screen, you can get directions to where your car is, which might be useful, I don't know, if you're somewhere far away from your car and you need to get to it. I can't really think of when we'd have to use that.
If you've lost your car so badly, that's somewhere completely different.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Or someone's stolen it. Here's a little snippet from our full service experience video that'll show you how to book an appointment.
So first things first, it's super easy to book an appointment through the Tesla app. All you have to do is go into service, select what issues your car is having, and then add a little bit more details as to what's going wrong, and then add some pictures as evidence.
Then you can pick your preferred service center and choose a time slot, and then you're pretty much booked. Now to see the full video about our complete service experience and getting our delivery issues fixed, check out this card up here. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you have, let us know by leaving remote control car in the comments. I mean, the app almost makes it like a remote control car, just in the sense that you can control a lot of things remotely.
We don't have some.
Yeah, we don't even have it. So
Yeah.
it's not even really a remote control car, but it's probably better than most other cars from a remote control sense, so
Definitely.
yeah. Anyways, that's all from the Master Brothers.
We'll catch you on the flippity flip.